Next on Worcester News tonight, an attack inside a synagogue leaves 11 people dead. Worcester organizations are coming together during a difficult time. Plus, the Red Sox are World Series champions once again, and fans are celebrating across central Massachusetts. The Boston Red Sox are World Series champions. Chris Sale closing out the game with an appearance in the 9th inning after a game that saw the Sox firing on all cylinders at the plate, at the mound, and in the field. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. While the team got the big win thousands of miles away in Los Angeles, fans took to the streets here in Massachusetts to celebrate. And of course, another championship here in New England means yet another championship t-shirt to add to the collection. Fans stopped at Dick's Sporting Goods in Millbury today to buy the new gear. Our Brittany Schaefer joins us now with more. Brittany?
Olivia, the doors opened right after the big win. Hours after they opened, they sold out of locker room hats in Millbury, and one fan I spoke to spent $750 in gear. After a historic 108 regular season wins, the Red Sox lived up to their motto and did damage in the World Series. For Mike Marino, the best part of celebrating the Sox win was being back in Massachusetts.
We grew up in Worcester and we moved to the West, and we're still Red Sox fans. We drove here for a wedding and to watch the Red Sox win the World Series on TV.
And Marino didn't take just any old car. He drove his limo 18 hours to Worcester. Monday, he bought more than $700 worth of 2018 championship merchandise.
A baseball bat, the flags, sweatshirts, long sleeve t-shirts, hats, everything to take back to Iowa because we don't have Dick's selling it in Iowa.
Marino wasn't alone. Hundreds were at Dick's Sporting Goods in Millbury representing their World Series champions.
I got a shirt. You know, they're the best team in history, pretty much.
I have a flag and some hats to take to Aruba with me when I go in December for some of my friends there, since Alexander Bogarts is Arubian.
The store opened right after the win. Community marketing manager Matt Cataccio says it's been busy throughout the day.
Last night we did have people lined up in front of our stores to get that product. We're just lucky to be a part of that. Boston fans are amazing, so it's just great to be a resource for them to come get their championship gear.
Fans say the team deserved this World Series title and are looking for a repeat next year.
Go Sox for 2019.
It's 3 years ahead of its time with the young team. So watch out for us again next year.
Moreno says his last stop in Central Mass was picking up World Series gear. After speaking with me, he's now headed back home to Iowa, where he says he can't wait to represent the Red Sox. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
All right, thank you, Brittany. And we now know when the team will hold its rolling rally and where the route for the parade will go. Mayor Walsh and Police Commissioner Gross announced the plans earlier today at Boston City Hall. Caroline Connolly reports.
Coming off a Red Sox win last night, this morning Boston was preparing to celebrate.
They played with character all year long, and let's celebrate with character.
In a press conference today, Mayor Marty Walsh detailed the city's plans for a Red Sox parade, bringing Boston's famed duck boats back to the streets for a World Series win, the last one here in 2013. This one expected to be similar, starting on Lansdowne Street outside Fenway and then moving through Ipswich, Boylston, Tremont, and Cambridge Streets before ending on Staniford.
You know, this doesn't get old.
MBTA Transit Police Chief Kenneth Green says people should use public transit to come into the city due to road closures and parking restrictions that will begin starting at midnight Wednesday. While police have had plenty of practice for celebrations like this in Boston, they're asking the crowds to help welcome the Red Sox home safely.
There are no known credible threats to this event. With that being said, we also ask our riders to please, if you see something, say something. Nothing's too small.
Again, the parade starting here in Boston at 11 o'clock in the morning, beginning at Fenway. It'll come down this route, and if you want to get a good spot, city leaders say get here early. In Boston, I'm Caroline Conley, Worcester News Tonight.
And Red Sox manager Alex Cora made a special request last night. As the first manager from Puerto Rico to guide a team to a championship, Cora says he'll be asking Red Sox owner John Henry if the team can take the trophy to the island. Cora's win at the World Series comes more than a year after Hurricane Maria devastated the U.S. territory. When Cora negotiated his contract last year, he asked the Sox to help Puerto Rico with relief efforts, and the team eagerly pitched in. Switching gears now, a deadly shooting in Pennsylvania hits home for the Jewish community in Worcester. A gunman opened fire in a synagogue, killing 11 people. Now local Worcester organizations are focusing on community and love. Our Rosalind Flaherty joins us now with more. Rosalind?
Olivia, people in Worcester are still trying to come to grips with the tragedy, but do say all the support is heartwarming. Worcester's Jewish community is grieving the loss of 11 people killed by a gunman who opened fire in a synagogue in Pennsylvania.
I just knew I needed time to process it. So it just feels very surreal even now.
Authorities say 46-year-old Robert Bowers used a semi-automatic assault-style weapon to kill 11 people and injure 6 others during a service on Saturday. The tragedy is being called a hate crime because investigators say Bowers made anti-Semitic statements on social media before the shooting.
Just tremendous grief for where our country is at and the hate that is running through some people.
Valerie Cohen is a rabbi at Temple Emmanuel Sinai in Worcester. She says they had just finished celebrating a bar mitzvah when they heard the news.
This is not the first time. This is not anything new for our country. Whether it's a synagogue or a church or a mosque, this has been happening for too many years.
David Mizrahi, owner of Weintraub's Jewish Deli, says he is still in shock.
I feel bad, it was awful. They doing this during the Saturday morning service.
Rabbi Cohen says they already focused a lot of attention on security measures, but this incident does make them think.
Do I feel safe? Yes, because of what happens here. Am I going to be more diligent and more observant? Absolutely.
She says around 500 people from all different faiths came to a service Sunday night to show support for the victims, saying love is the message they need to send.
Love is a better weapon and a bigger weapon than anything that somebody who is crazy might carry.
Now, Bowers appeared in federal court today, charged with 29 felony counts. He is held without bail and be back in court on Thursday. Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
The College of the Holy Cross is investigating what the school is calling an incident of anti-LGBTQ violence on campus. The school says a student was assaulted early Saturday morning. An investigation is ongoing. And in a statement, the college says, unfortunately, we are living in a time of increasing intolerance, hate, and bias, as we have seen in distressing events across our country in just the past week. A vigil is planned for Tuesday on campus. Days after a storm hit parts of central Massachusetts, the National Weather Service confirms it was a tornado. We first reported last week a microburst hit Hubbardston and Hardwick. Days later, the National Weather Service says tornadoes were actually to blame for the damage. An EF0 tornado touched down around 4:30 p.m. in Hubbardston last Tuesday with winds from 70 to 80 miles per hour. Early voting is underway in central Massachusetts, and as of this afternoon, more than 5,700 Worcester residents have already voted. It started last Monday and runs through this Thursday. This is the second state election where voting has been an option. The first was the 2016 presidential election. Worcester's Election Commission says they recommend everyone gets out early to vote if possible.
I think it's convenient. It just only takes a few minutes, and you can just get out of the way, so you don't have to wait for November 6th. We're expecting large turnouts on November 6th, so go out to vote early.
And Election Day is next Tuesday, November 6th. Grants ranging from $400 to $900 are awarded to dozens of central Massachusetts programs Monday. Bishop Robert McManus presented the 26 grants as part of the Catholic Campaign for Human Development. The collection is taken up nationwide each year, and 25% of the donations from parishes in the Diocese of Worcester are used for local organizations. Bishop McManus says the groups are working to combat poverty and the causes of poverty in central Massachusetts.
Obviously, it's not as much as we'd like to give every agency and every charitable program, but it can serve as this seed money that will help the programs get on their feet, and sometimes there are other funding sources that will help them to move forward.
And in total, $15,000 was awarded to the programs. And a $600,000 grant will help strengthen partnerships between the Worcester Art Museum and public programs. The grant is from the Bar-Clarman, Massachusetts Arts Initiative. It will allow the museum to invest in long-term financial stability while building partnerships with artistic and public programs. The Bar Foundation and Clarman Family Foundation are awarding $25 million in total to 29 arts and cultural organizations across Massachusetts.